CBS News analysis finds more than a dozen large immigration detention facilities have gone more than a year without inspections. The findings follow a policy change that reduced the frequency of inspections at many ICE facilities. 15 facilities holding 500 or more detainees had not been inspected in more than 12 months as of late June. 5 had no inspection on record. Now, critics warn less oversight could allow problems to go undetected, while the Department of Homeland Security says its compliance program remains effective. So let's talk about this with CBS News data journalist Julia Ingram. So Julia, nice to have you with us. How significant is that shift from the previous inspection schedule and now what's driving the new changes?
Yeah, so ICE previously inspected these facilities twice a year, so about every 6 months. And now that cadence was instituted during the first Trump administration, actually, because an audit found that the inspections were too infrequent to ensure that they were staying up to detention standards. Now they've walked those reforms back, and they're inspecting facilities either once a year or once every other year, depending on the facility type. And in terms of what's driving these changes, shortly after Trump took office, Border Czar Tom Homan told sheriffs that they were going to be scaling back these inspections in order to encourage more of them to allow ICE to use those jails to hold immigrant detainees. And a DHS spokesperson also told us this was about allocating oversight resources based on detention capacity and facility type. So under these new policies, those dedicated facilities that only hold ICE detainees are inspected every year, and non-dedicated facilities like those county jails are inspected every other year. But when we looked at the data, we found some of those non-dedicated facilities are just as big as the dedicated ones. So 5 of them hold more than 500 people. And even among those dedicated facilities, there were 10 of them that weren't inspected in over a year, although DHS says they will be inspected by the end of September.
Right, and you also found that nearly, 90% of inspections since 2019 identified at least one deficiency. So what types of problems are showing up, and what's showing up most often?
Yeah, so when they identify an area where those facilities are not up to standards, they call those deficiencies. And most often those deficiencies were in areas for the standards for environmental health and safety or medical care. And there's a wide range of these deficiencies, and they vary in terms of severity. So some of them were about not performing health screenings or mental health evaluations within the required time after a detainee enters detention or receives a referral. Some of them were about skipping required staff trainings, not performing fire drills. And experts said these inspections were already imperfect. They sometimes missed things, and they weren't enforcing financial penalties or significant repercussions for deficiencies. And they said that conducting these inspections less often could allow conditions to worsen. A former DHS official told us that when facilities know an inspection is coming, they sometimes self-review and correct some of their problems. And the DHS spokesperson said that the field office director will work with the facilities to correct deficiencies when the inspections identify them. But with fewer inspections, they're going to be identifying these deficiencies less often.
All right, Julia Ingram, thank you so much for your findings.